Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm here to give you guys my review for WWE Worlds Collide for April 17th, 2019. And this was the Cruiserweights Collide edition, where basically everybody in the 205 Live limit from 205 Live, NXT UK, and NXT all faced off with each other. I kind of wish they would have done Raw and SmackDown as well, but I guess they didn't really feel like doing that. But I kind of thought it would have been pretty cool. But we had the commentary team of, and obviously, like I said, this all these Worlds Collide were filmed over WrestleMania Access week. So yeah, so we had the commentary team of Aided English and Tom Phillips. I thought they did fine together on commentary. I thought Aided English was really good. Tom Phillips was eh. Um, and we had the first match on the show. It was 205 Live's The Brian Kendrick versus NXT UK's Tyler Bate. Um, this match I thought was pretty good. They both started. They did a callback storyline first, where back at an indie show when Tyler Bate was like a teenager, he ended up like taking a picture with the Brian Kendrick, which I kind of thought was a nice thing to talk about. Um, but the fans were chanting Strong Beastie Boy, and the Brian Kendrick was like, yeah, was um, getting out wrestled by Tyler Bate because he's so strong. And the Brian Kendrick was like, you're right, he is a strong Beastie Boy. And eventually he kind of starts to take control of the match a little bit with his chain wrestling maneuvers. And um, he gets knocked to the outside, and the Brian Kendrick says, "Why didn't you tell me he was a Beastie Boy?" And Tyler Bate goes after him, and he says it's to like a fan, and he throws him into the barricade. He throws him into the apron, puts him back in the ring. The Brian Kendrick tries to escape through the ropes, but Tyler Bate catches him, and Tyler Bate hits a thumb to the eye on the Brian Kendrick. He gets the heat on him for a little bit, but then Tyler Bate, when the referee's not looking, thumbs the Brian Kendrick in the eye, and gets a clothesline onto him. And Tyler Bate and the Brian Kendrick try to thumb each other in the eye, but Brian Kendrick blocks it with his one of his eyes with his face. So Tyler Bate just does the one finger with it, which I thought was funny. And then eventually the Brian Kendrick hits a when the referee's yelling at him. Tyler Bate's distracted. The Brian Kendrick attacks him from behind. He gets the hit on the Brian Kendrick for a bit. He hits a really cool neck breaker onto him, which I liked. But then eventually Tyler Bates starts to mount a comeback. He hits the front like the shooting star press splash, and Tyler Bate hits the airplane spin. He hits the rebound leg insecurity, the rebound clothesline. The Brian Kendrick gets Tyler Bate into a Captain's hook, but Tyler Bate gets the ropes. He goes for the Captain's hook a second time, but then Tyler Bate counters it, hits the Tyler Driver 97 for the win. But I thought this was a pretty good match here. I thought these two worked well together. So I'm gonna give it 3.25 stars. I thought it was a pretty good match. Then we had the next match. It was a tag team match. It was NXT UK's Flash Morgan Webster and Mark Andrews versus 205 Live's Arya Daivari and Mike Kanellis. They do a thing where actually everyone was really into Mike Kanellis in this matchup as well. They do a thing where Daivari and Mike Kanellis continuously tag each other in and out, and eventually they start to have the match, and the baby faces are getting the advantage. So eventually the heels get the heat on Flash Morgan Webster for a while. When Mike Kanellis hits a wicked clothesline onto him, and they just dominate him for a while. And then eventually Mark Andrews gets the hot tag on Arya Daivari, starts taking him out with his typical moves, and they both Morgan and Webster hit a double dive simultaneously. They go Flash Morgan Webster goes for a shooting star press, but it gets reversed, and Mike Kanellis hits a spine buster, but doesn't get the win. And then eventually Mike Kanellis inadvertently super kicks Arya Daivari, and Mark Andrews hits the Stun Dog Millionaire, and then tags in Flash Morgan Webster, and he hits the Swanton right across Mike Kanellis' back, gets the win. I thought this was a good match here. I give it 3 stars. Made sense for Morgan and Webster to win, considering the fact that they're more of a tag team than Mike Kanellis and Ellie DeVario, so I thought it made sense for them to get the win. And as for Tyler Bate, I thought it made sense for him to be the Brian Kendrick kind of passing the torch type of thing. Then we had the next match. It was a triple threat match. NXT's Albert Hardy Jr., best known as ACH on the Indies, versus NXT UK's Legaia versus 205 Live's Great Metalik. If you're not going to watch anything on this show, one match, though, you really got to go out of your way to watch. Well, sorry, let me rephrase that. If you're going to watch any match on this show, you got to watch this one. This match I thought was really good. They start doing chain wrestlings on they try to chain wrestle each other. ACH or Albert Hardy Jr. pretends to put like a mask on since he's the only one that's not like a luchador in this match, and he ends up hitting a big boot cheap shot on Legaia. He starts chain wrestling with Grand Metalik for a bit, and the match just kind of starts to spill into chaos from that point. Grand Metalik hits a really cool drop kick from the middle rope onto Legaia. Legaia hits a really cool drop kick himself. Grand Metalik hits a reverse slim blade, I believe, onto ACH. And ACH dominates the match for a while. He hits a double flip dive onto both guys. Grand Metalik hits a really cool flip dive. When ACH has an abdominal stretch onto Legaia, Grand Metalik takes his head off with a super kick, which I thought was awesome. And Grand Metalik has the win with the Metalik driver on Albert Hardy Jr., but Legaia breaks it up, and Albert Hardy Jr. was very heelish in this match. I was actually kind of surprised by that. I wonder if this means he is going to be a heel, if this was just a one-time thing, because the Brian Kendrick acted like heel in his match, sort of, so. But then eventually Legaia gets the win with after hitting the stunner and everything with the springboard DDT onto ACH for the win. I kind of wish they wouldn't have had ACH take the fall. I wish they would have given, had Grand Metalik take the fall because ACH is new. It wouldn't have hurt him as much. It kind of hurts him a little bit. Like, Grand Metalik isn't as new as ACH, so I didn't think it would hurt him as much. But whatever. I thought the step match was really good. Definitely give it a watch. I gave it 3 3/4. Then we had the main event. It was 205 Live's Akira Tozawa versus NXT UK's Jordan Devlin. I thought this match was really good. They both start chain wrestling each other. Eventually, Jordan Devlin starts to target the back of Akira Tozawa, and he really works over the back throughout the rest of the matchup. But then eventually, Akira Tozawa starts to mount a comeback. He hits a Insecurity on Jordan Devlin. He goes for the senton, but Jordan Devlin rolls out of the ring, and then Tozawa hits a suicide dive on him, a missile drop kick from the top turnbuckle, but doesn't get the win. And then eventually, he tries to do the German suplexes, but Jordan Devlin continuously reverses him. He eventually catches Jordan Devlin into a wicked German suplex. That was actually pretty cool. And he goes for the senton, but Jordan Devlin gets the knees up and hits the throw and lift in back suplex for the win. I guess that's his new finisher now because he's been winning matches with that lately. Or maybe this is gonna be like his second finisher. But Jordan Devlin gets the win. And if you notice, in all these matches, an NXT UK superstar won. I don't know if that was just kind of like a fluke thing and it just kind of happened, or if they're really trying to put over the NXT UK brand, because it was very interesting that NXT UK won all the matches. But I think it makes sense though for like the athletes that were in that match. You really like Tyler Bate really shouldn't have lost to Brian Kendrick. Mike Kanellis and Elio DeVario a makeshift tag team, so kind of makes more sense. I guess you could have, if you really wanted to, have like Grand Metalik get the win in that match instead of Legaia, but Legaia's getting kind of a big push in NXT UK. He's been winning a lot of matches. But then you have, the main event. You probably could have had Akira Tozawa get the win, but they're kind of pushing Jordan Devlin really strong. So I don't really think it had anything to do with like a brand perspective. I just think the people that were in the matches in NXT UK were kind of getting pushed a little bit stronger than the other people in the matches. So I just kind of found it interesting though that that every match an NXT UK superstar won. I thought that was kind of interesting. Um, but yeah, I thought this was a good show. I'll give it a B minus. I thought it had some good matches throughout the show. What kind of sucks about this show is it doesn't really feel like it's really leaded to anything. It just kind of feels like it's a show that's just kind of happened. I kind of wish there was like something on the line, like for this show, they would at the end of the show maybe do like some type of like um like at the end of the show, because since it was they did some type of multi-man match with all the winners. And the winner got a Cruiserweight Championship match, and you could do the match, on 205 Live or NXT UK, or maybe at the end of the show, all the NXT, since everyone in NXT UK won, the winner got like a United Kingdom title match, and they would get it like that would be like the last match we would see, before NXT UK, on NXT UK's tapings of New York, something like that, just because that way this would have meant something. And then on the last show, you could have done like a big multi-man match as well with all the winners, where the winner got like a title shot if they're choosing, and they could choose, like an NXT title match, or something. Just what I think personally, but yeah, good show. B minus. That's pretty much the end of this review. Thank you guys for watching. Please make sure you guys like, comment, and share this video so people will watch it. Make sure you guys subscribe to this channel for more content and click on the bell so that way every time I upload a video, you guys get the notifications for it. And make sure you guys do the same thing for my CM Brothers and all the Talking to YouTube channels. And that's pretty much it, guys. Talk to you later.